Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to take another look at those Wish reviews. We talked yesterday about how Wish was getting beat up by critics. And one of the reviews in particular, I saw it floating around Twitter, The Hollywood Reporter. I didn't read past the lead. Once you get into the review, it becomes some manifesto about how problematic the Walt Disney Company was under Walt Disney.
Oh, really?
So they're using a review of a movie that's supposed to be the 100th anniversary celebration of the Walt Disney Company, started by Walt Disney to attack Walt Disney.
That's so on brand.
It's so on brand. So we're gonna talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. Guys, give woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Go out to shopclownfish.com, secure a copy of Shadowbinders Volume 3, shipping next summer. First new Shadowbinders content in 10 years. You can pick up books 1 and 2, yada, yada. You know the drill. Thank you so much for the support.
Yep.
Wrapping this one up in a couple of days. Might be another chance on Kickstarter. We got to figure that out, though. We're getting there. We're working on it. We're still working on logistics for other books, but we're getting there. So, yeah, let's go out to Rotten Tomatoes here real quick. All right, so I was watching the score drop in real time yesterday, and now Wish is rotten.
Now, I mean, to be fair, people that the regular audiences might go and love it, and I'm sure the Pixie Dusters are going to eat it up. So I don't expect the audience score to be as bad. I really, truly don't.
No.
I'm just putting that out there right now.
I mean, it looks like the most generic Disney movie ever, but that was kind of the point. I mean, they were like, okay, we're celebrating 100 years of
yeah,
Disney,
it's just an entertaining movie to celebrate, to get you know nods to old Disney films. And in that, if you look at it for what it is, and don't expect anything more, you might be okay with it.
So that being said, we looked at some of the headlines yesterday. We didn't get into the articles, and I saw this one. I about fell on my chair. It's coming from the Hollywood Reporter. Lovia Gayarki? I don't know. Anyway, Lovia.
Lovia, I don't know.
Lovia.
I'll call you Lovey.
Lovey says, Wish review, Ariana DeBois and Chris Pine voice a disappointing tale of two Disneys. Okay, we're like, oh, that's not a very good headline. Well, we get down here. All right, we go past this, right? We got to get 3 paragraphs in. Founded in 1923, Disney has grown from a modest animation studio started by 2 brothers into a billion-dollar behemoth.
That's true, though.
The company is a global brand with dozens of subsidiaries.
Also true.
It's a political donor, as most corporations are these days.
To both sides, which we pointed out way before, it became a talking point, yes.
And a critical part, for better or for worse, of our cultural consciousness.
Also true.
It was the standard for animation and enduring world building, but
True.
it also represents conservative values, imperialism, and regressive social norms.
Right. Clearly regressive social norms. That's why they keep trying to put out the progressive social norms. Well, I'll say progressive social. I won't call them norms because they're not norms. And what happens is those movies fail terribly.
Yes. Disney has not been conservative in a while, I don't think. Not under Bob Iger anyway.
I'm trying to figure out how it's imperialistic, but progressive social norms. Disney has been out there.
They take over every company they come in contact with.
Disney has been out there promoting progressive identities and stuff for a while now. They stood up against Florida as biting them in the ass, everything else. So I wouldn't argue that's like a not really authentic argument.
Yeah, so I mean, this is interesting because they're talking about how there needs to be more inclusion in Disney, but yeah, they're like, what does Disney want to be culturally? So they're basically
that is a good question.
The problem with the review and the problem with the movie is they're celebrating Disney's problematic history with a biracial teenager.
Well, that's it. But I'm saying, it's still diverse.
It's still diverse, yeah. So
they got a goat that talks now.
There are nods and gestures to the company's history here that will delight longtime fans in a narrative aimed to empower, like Frozen and Raya and the Last Dragon. It's just like, I don't know, guys. I'm just kind of like, this is your takeaway?
They're talking, okay, that's their article. For as much as they're saying that Disney, okay, they go down again. They were saying here that they said the problem with Disney is it would rather not commit to any single direction. Neither does this article.
No, it's like, it's the best of times, it's the worst of times.
Your article does the exact same thing, Lovey.
Is Lovey AI?
I don't know.
Celebrating Disney magic, but that magic is problematic.
Right. And it's a marriage between old and new, and you know, they need to be more, you know, progressive, but they are progressive, but it's still, you know, this article does exactly what they're complaining the movie does.
So here's the thing, and we've talked about this before, and so far, the Walt Disney Company has not done it, but there were rumors that they were, and I think some of the rumors actually came from Jim Hill Media. There were rumors the company was going to try to distance itself from Walt either right before the 100th anniversary or right after the 100th anniversary.
Yeah, and it went over like a lead fart, and everybody was really pissed about it.
Because Walt was an out conservative. Now, the Disney of current year definitely is not a conservative company. That's why they're getting themselves into so much trouble. You know, in Florida.
They need to worry about being a better Disney and not worrying so much about being political.
And the thing is to be a better Disney, you have to create products. I hate to use that word. You have to create products that appeal to everybody. And that means people whose politics you don't necessarily like.
And that doesn't mean you can't have representation. That's not what we're saying at all.
Right.
I mean, you can do it, but the problem is there's not representation for the sake of representation. It's just representation to be like, yeah, look, we're gonna ham fist the representation. There's a difference. Finesse, people.
Finesse. Disney used to have a little more finesse. And look, some of their movies, I'll be honest, some of the movies haven't aged very well. I think some of the backlash over some of their movies is blown way the hell out of proportion. I still think Song of the South is, even though Disney was told, hey, you might not want to do this, dude, because it's probably going to get you in trouble one of these days, it still is a pretty tame movie. It's not, it's not advocating for slavery. They're not even slaves. It's definitely a product of its time, but it's a pretty inoffensive movie. And, in the case of Splash Mountain, that was another overcorrection because it was just the animal characters. It wasn't the human characters. Uncle Remus was never mentioned. None of the human characters were in it. There was just a bunch of talking animals.
Yep.
And it was totally fine. But again, princess stuff. They can sell more princess stuff if it's Princess and the Frog. And that's what Disney is current. Yeah, actually, that's probably the most current year Disney thing ever because Walt pick the stories he wanted to have animated or turned into movies based on stuff he liked. He personally liked.
Right. Books or different things like that.
Yeah. He personally liked Snow White. He personally liked Uncle Remus. He personally liked Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I mean, Disney fight it all, but yes.
Yeah.
But then now all they want to do is just remake every animated feature ever, and then ones that are popular like Frozen and Toy Story, they just keep making more of those. And they don't always do it right. And that's basically current year Disney.
Yeah, so here we have, look, we've got diverse critics here. As a Disney animated film, Wish is more forgettable than iconic. And it's derivative. IGN, Wish's visually appealing celebration of Disney's 100th anniversary mostly lacks inventiveness and gravitas, but it has good music. That's basically what we heard. It's like, if you like Lin-Manuel Miranda,
if you like Easter eggs, you're going to like this one. Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest misstep is the story itself. It's flawed between the concept of wishes and dreams. Okay, whatever. These are some of the ones we've seen. But this is interesting. We didn't do a dive into the reviews, but to use this movie as an opportunity to basically slam Disney for being a conservative company.
Which they aren't and haven't been for a long time.
This is why they're getting into it with Florida, right? This is why they're getting into it with their own employees. Because they're not. Where have you been? I guess it is a tale of two Disneys. It's Walt. It's like Star Wars. It's George's Star Wars and then Disney Star Wars, just like we had Walt's Disney Company and then Disney Co. Or Disco or whatever you want to call them,
But I just thought this was so funny because for all the complaints that this author is leveling at Disney, she does the exact same damn thing. I mean, I'm assuming it's she in the article.
I'm sure.
You're
Love
sure
you.
What?
Gyarky.
Yeah, there you go.
Gyarky.
There, it's a she.
Yes.
She reviews films, so she identifies as a she.
Yeah. So there we go. She liked the Marvels too. The winning
Shocker.
Shocker. Person who likes the Marvels thinks, hey, that came from Disney too, by the way, Lovey. That came from Disney. Anyway, are we going to wrap this up?
Yep.
It's going to be really interesting to see what the takeaway is from this. It's going to be really interesting to see what their financial takeaway is from this.
It might do okay. I mean, I don't think it's going to do great. They're not predicting it to do great. None of the movies that are out right now are doing great, which is a whole other thing. But Disney fans, diehards, are going to probably eat this up. They're going to love it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm sure they're going to give it 5-star reviews. So, It is what it is. And I mean, I'll someday watch it maybe. I haven't watched any of their animated stuff forever. I don't know the last animated film I watched from them because I haven't been interested in any of it.
I didn't even watch. I watched bits of Luca.
I watched parts. I watched most of Luca. I did not watch Soul. No, I thought you'd watch that one by now.
I wanted to see Soul, and because it actually looked pretty good, because I like jazz music. So I was like, and I like Pixar, and it looked pretty good. I liked Pixar, past tense, but then I honestly forgot it existed. I keep forgetting it exists.
I haven't watched Raya and the Last Dragon. I never watched Strange World. I didn't watch Lightyear. I used to watch every one, and I just don't care.
The Mitchells versus the Machines on Netflix is very, very good.
I didn't get to watch that either. I don't have time. If I'm watching something, it's a K-drama.
Well, I've been watching
Or
the
an
Pinky
anime.
Boo, but she got me to watch Mitchells versus the Machines, and that was a very, very good movie.
Now all she wants to do is watch Batman movies.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch Batman and Robin together, I think.
She just wants to watch Batman movies now.
Palette cleanser from The Flash. We'll watch Batman and Robin.
She's just all about Batman now. Are we wrapping this up?
We're wrapping this up, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.